Go.
Hi, my name is Jagji,
My name is Darsh.
and today we are going to be doing the topic: was an atomic bomb necessary?
This is a really controversial topic, and there's not really any right or wrong answer to this. I'm going to be no.
And I'm going to be yes. Do you think the war could have ended with less casualties if the US didn't drop the atomic bomb and there was another way of defeating Japan?
Yeah, I think so. Because Japan had no allies, their navy was almost destroyed, and their islands were under naval blockade. Peace could have been achieved by blockading key cities that were economically dependent on foreign sources for food and materials, and peace could have been achieved with way less casualties. And also, the threat of Soviet Union in the war would have been enough to make Japan surrender.
Okay, but do you think Japan would have surrendered that easily? They also have to go under the law of they can't surrender. They have to keep fighting until they die. But if they do surrender, they're gonna be killed by the leaders' people. So do you think it's gonna be that easy?
I agree with you at that point. But America, all they wanted was peace, and they wanted the war to end, and there were so many other ways to do it. For example, after the Battle of Iwo Jima, the casualties for both countries were high, and Japan was really weak. And Japan was ready to make peace, but US created unconditional terms which went against the honor of Japan. Japan would have surrendered if America agreed to keep peace with the emperor, but US wanted to show their supremacy and dominance. Okay, moving on. America dropped the atomic bomb because they had a side mission in it. They wanted to show their dominance and their power to Russia. Because they know they hated Russia, and they know after the war they would go to war with Russia. They dropped the bomb to scare USSR, and they want to show their supremacy and dominance. I honestly feel like that is wrong, because if a stronger guy picks on a weak guy to show his dominance and strength to other people, that is really wrong. And furthermore, this did not prevent Russia from making their own atom bomb, because they were already working on the atomic bomb, and they were only 2 years behind from making the atomic bomb.
Okay, that's nice key points. But do you think, without dropping the atomic bombs, Russia was already pushing Manchuria and was making its way to Japan? If it took over Japan and won the battle, it wouldn't have gave Japan back to Japan that easily. Russia had a dictator, so that means he wasn't gonna give up land that he conquered. He was already planning to keep the land in Europe, and he was planning to keep the land he was gonna win in Japan. So do you think he was gonna give it back that easily?
So if they wanted to drop the atomic bomb to scare Russia and keep Russia out of Japan, they could have dropped the atomic bomb on less unpopulated area, because they wanted to show the destruction of the atomic bomb, and dropping the bomb in an unpopular area would have showed the destruction and still saved lives and would have forced Japan to surrender. But they didn't do that, and instead they dropped 2 bombs, and they only gave 2 days to Japan to surrender.
I don't think so. They dropped the bomb in a popular city because it had a lot of economically stuff in the city. America purposely put a bomb on that city because it was going to affect Japan's resources and its ability in war.
So what you're trying to say is America wanted Japan defeated. They wanted to defeat Japan and make peace. And like I said before, Japan was ready to make peace if they agreed to keep the emperor in power, but America didn't, and instead they created unconditional terms which went against the ethics and honors of Japanese, because America wanted to show their supremacy and dominance to the whole entire world.
Okay, nice key points. Moving on. Japanese tortured Americans in PAL camps, and they went against the Geneva Convention, where they can't inflict any damage on other country prisoners. Japanese also attacked Pearl Harbor and killed innocent people, and also destroyed U.S. fleet without even going at war with America before they even declared it. Also, the bomb dropping was a way to avenge American soldiers that fought in the Pacific Theater. USA gave them multiple chances to surrender, but they refused to, and they didn't want to surrender.
JG, I agree with all points, but except the last one. Japan wanted to surrender, and like I said before, US created unconditional terms. And for following your first point, right? I do agree that what Japanese did was wrong, and there should have been consequences. If but what U.S. did isn't justified still, because if Japanese invade Pearl Harbor, that doesn't give U.S. a right to kill hundreds and thousands of innocent civilians, and people are still dying till today. There's still high levels of radiations there, and people still dying because of cancer. And the atomic bomb really messed up Japan's geology.
Okay, but do you know that the bomb actually just killed less people than it was actually like saved?
I disagree with you.
But no, listen. Do you? If as the Allied invaded Japan, so many people in Japan were gonna die, and also people from the Allied. Over 1 million people were gonna die, and this was all because Japan didn't surrender. They were gonna fight until the last of them died. So do you think that the atomic bomb was unnecessary?
I agree with you that Allied invasion would have cost a lot more lives, but the situation would have went to Allied invasion if USA and Japan would have made peace. But again, like I said before, USA created unconditional terms, which went against the honor and ethic of Japan. And I honestly feel like this is really a two-sided debate, and a really controversial topic, and really depends on who you are and what you believe and what you think and what your view is.
Okay, that was a nice debate, and still up to today that this question is still controversial, and I think we should use our past mistakes to better the future.
Yeah, and I feel like no more war should be taken, and people should live in peace and harmony, and help each other to build a better, inclusive community where everybody's open and we live like human beings. Because after all, we're all family. Thank you.